Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We have a wonderful guest in studio today. It's Bill Pendley, and he's a mortgage loan consultant from Caliber Home Loans. Hi, Bill.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's nice to see you.
Great. Thanks for having me on. I love coming on this show.
Well, we love having you. Now, you've made some change since the last time we saw you.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about who you're working for and what's it all about.
Yeah, so I've been in the industry for 20 years and with the same company for 20 years, and I just felt like it was time to make that move. My brother had owned our company for 30 years and sold to a bank, and banking is a little different than just mortgage lending. Mm-hmm. And so I felt like it was time for me to move, and the company Caliber was that company that I came to, and I actually thought, wow, this is the actual what I've always thought the mortgage industry could be, where it's provided a digital piece that's allowed the ease of the good experience of somebody going through the process. And I think it was kind of like an Apple products situation where you're watching somebody go through the process of a mortgage and not having to worry about all the paperwork. It's just been so much of a smooth experience going through the process. What
makes Caliber special? What makes it different from its competitors? There's a lot of choices out there.
Sure. I actually went through a pretty long process of trying to think of who I wanted to go with, and I interviewed with probably 4 or 5 different companies out there today, and Caliber is one of those companies that I think that there's 2 things you want to look at when you're looking at a company. You want to look at culture, and you want to look at the platform of programs that they have. And I just looked at what they had, and I couldn't believe the programs and the systems they have. The digital piece alone has been a huge difference from where I came from. So I came from a banking world, and the banking world is a little bit more compliance driven, mm-hmm. whereas this is strictly a mortgage company, a mortgage lenders who's focused strictly on your home buying process or your refinance. And I've seen it with the last few deals that I've done, how quickly deals get done and how efficient it is with the systems.
Now, you mentioned the word digital. So lots of us think about a digital mortgage, but we think maybe an online mortgage, but this is different from that.
It is. I think what happens is a lot of companies out there are strictly digital, mm-hmm. which you don't have a loan officer to really put a face with the name of the company. Mm-hmm. And where Caliber puts together the culture piece and the digital piece is that they provide a seasoned loan officer who's going to sit down with you and actually provide an easier process to get a mortgage done. So let's say that you and I wanted to go through the process
Sure.
of you purchasing a property. What would happen is you and I would meet, we'd sit down, and I could actually send you a link to verify your income, verify your assets, and pull your credit all in one sitting. In fact, I had a client recently who came in, they were a relocation from Ohio, and within one day we were able to verify on a Saturday, but by all means, it's just amazing that this even happened, but we're able to verify their income with a verification employment through work number, and also their assets. They linked up their assets and their credit. And so they were able to get a full approval the same day they came in town to purchase a property. And with this market, there's a lot of multiple offers. Mm-hmm. That's going to provide more leverage for the buyer that's actually looking to purchase a property.
I think that's great, because I think we're all looking for it to be digital so we don't have to go get paper and do all that. But I think a lot of us are, myself included, hesitant to be all online. So I like the fact that you're digital and we get you.
Yeah,
that's an awesome
great.
thing.
Yeah.
You mentioned the word culture. Where does that play? What is that?
So yeah, as I mentioned, I went through an interview process pretty extensive with a few different companies, and Carrie Pastore is a regional manager that we actually we connected. And I just had that comfort level, just kind of like you and I. Mm-hmm. So you're a great interviewer.
Well, thanks. Thanks, Bill.
So yeah, well, but it's that comfort that provided, and I realized that person who pulled me in is the face of the company. Mm-hmm. And so with him being that front person, I was able to kind of get a good idea of what the company was like. And now that I'm there, it is actually everything is that he had promised is actually coming true. So that's a good feeling when you're a new employee of a company.
That's awesome. Now, you mentioned you had lots of different programs. I guess I don't even think that. I think I get a mortgage. I don't realize there's different programs. Talk to me about the programs you offered.
Yeah, so we're a conventional a government type of lender. One of our biggest programs right now is VA. So I think we are really pushing the VA products in our company. In fact, I had to go through a pretty extensive class training to provide those products for our veterans.
Nice.
And so the cool part about it is the marketing piece is really a good platform, as well as the mortgage products. But let's say that you're a veteran coming into our company and buying a house. We'll actually provide what's called a challenge coin. I don't know if you've ever heard of a challenge coin, but veterans, they know what that is, and that's a good symbol of knowing that we know what their culture is like, and what we're trying to do is provide them a great service and honor them as they serve our country. So that's a great tool to actually get out there and spread the word on too.
That's awesome. Talk to me a little bit about when should I start to see you? If I'm looking for a home, should I be contacting you at the same time, or should I be wanting to make an offer and then contact you?
That's a great question. So if you're thinking, let's just say you're thinking about buying a house, I would say it's a lot like a doctor's appointment. It'll prep you to leverage, and actually give you more comfort and less stress if you start out with this piece.
Okay.
It's the most critical part of the equation. It's where people can really find more stress added if they don't do it the right way. So I think that getting the mortgage done up front, and at least I even tell clients, if they're thinking about it, even if it's next year, to sit down with a mortgage professional right away, just because you can kind of plan. There's ways that you can improve your credit score. In fact, I had a client that sat down at the beginning of the year, wasn't ready to necessarily purchase, but their scores were just under the mark of getting a great rate. So we were able to tell them, hey, listen, if you pay off this credit card, your rate's gonna improve, and then also your FICO score is gonna improve. And so he came back, found a house that he really fell in love with, and then pulled his credit and found out that he was over the mark to get the best rate on the street. So we were giving high fives to each other in the office. It was great.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'd say right away, if you're thinking about it, it just gives you an idea to kind of plan your approach on purchasing a property.
Right, because you can also kind of help me figure out what I can afford.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And I think the digital piece allows that, just to kind of push the documents out of the way and start talking about the numbers. So what I do for clients is I'll say, okay, listen, you may be able to qualify for the Taj Mahal, but you may not like the payment of the Taj Mahal. So let's back out the numbers based on the monthly payment. If you say, hey, listen, I want to be at a $1,500 a month payment, let's start there. Let's not look at a $500,000 house right now. Let's back it up and start there and see what you qualify off of that.
And right now, I would say that the real estate market is positive. So would you encourage people to move?
I would say right now is a great time to purchase a property. I think what we're seeing in the real estate world is we're seeing the values that are going up. In fact, my area alone in Naperville, north side of Naperville, I'm seeing houses that are selling before they even hit the market, and that's a good sign. So when you're looking at selling your house and moving on to another property, I think the rates are really low. I think the values are there. I think it's kind of that perfect storm as far as anybody that's looking to purchase or sell their property right now.
Well, Bill, thanks for stopping by, telling us about what's exciting and new in your life with the new company, Caliber, and more importantly, just letting us know how we can get our mortgage figured out, and that you're our guy. Everybody needs a friend in the mortgage industry, and you're ours. So thanks.
Great. I appreciate it, Liz. Thanks.
No problem. We're going to be right back with more Business Connection. Stay tuned.